Right, y'all. Let's see if I can turn this off. Shalom to everybody. Shalom. All right. We're going to listen to the Testament of Levi. Hopefully more people will be coming in. but I hope everybody is doing well. Now, some of you might have heard Trump is calling for the churches to open again. And you know, their number one goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to pray for everything to go back to the way it was pre-COVID-19. So we need to come together and raise our voices up to the Most High and pray against that. Seriously, we need to pray against it. So if you are with it, make sure you lift up your voices tomorrow in opposition to this place going back to the way it was. We know the Most High is never going to take us back. You know, we are looking at the beginning of the end, the very, very end of this society. But lift your voices up, because we know what they're going to be praying for. And this is the time. If you're going to raise your voice against your enemy, this is the time to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're going to listen to the testament of Levi today. It won't be long. We'll probably be here tops about 30 minutes. You know what? I say everybody just pray when you are ready to pray. That way our prayers are going up all day long, because we got people on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, you know. So as long as we're lifting our voices up at different times all day tomorrow, and look, we know we are praying to the real true power, okay? They are praying, you know, they're praying to an idol that don't exist. We are praying to the real true power. So we know who's going to come out on top with this prayer going on. We will. No doubt about it. No doubt. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, y'all. Just give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Give me a 1. Okay. All right, y'all. You know, I'm going to be I always get up and do my morning prayer. But because of what's going to happen tomorrow, I'll probably put a few more extra prayers in. It certainly won't hurt. Okay, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started.
The Testament of Levi, the third son of Jacob and Leah. The copy of the words of Levi, the things which he ordained unto his sons, according to all that they should do, and what things should befall them until the day of judgment. He was sound in health when he called them to him, for it had been revealed to him that he should die. And when they were gathered together, he said to them, I, Levi, was born in Haran, and I came with my father to Shechem, and I was young, about 20 years of age, when with Simeon I wrought vengeance on Hamor for our sister Dinah. And when I was feeding the flocks in Abel Moab, the spirit of understanding of Adonijah came upon me, and I saw all men corrupt in their way, and that unrighteousness had built for itself walls, and lawlessness sat upon towers. And I was grieving for the race of the sons of men, and I prayed to Adonijah that I might be saved. Then there fell upon me a sleep, and I beheld a high mountain, and I was upon it. And behold, the heavens were open, and an angel of Elohim said to me, Levi, enter. And I entered from the first heaven, and I saw there a great sea hanging. And further, I saw a second heaven, far brighter and more brilliant, for there was a boundless light also therein. And I said to the angel, Why is this so? And the angel said to me,
Marvel not at this thing, for thou shalt see another heaven more brilliant and incomparable. And when thou hast ascended thither, thou shalt stand near Adonai, and shalt be his minister, and shalt declare his mysteries to men, and shalt proclaim concerning him that shall redeem Israel. And by thee and Judah shall Adonai appear among men, saving every race of men. And from Adonai's portion shall be thy life, and he shall be thy field and vineyard, and fruits, gold and silver. Hear therefore regarding the heavens which have been shown to thee. The lowest is for this cause gloomy unto thee, and that it beholds all unrighteous deeds of men. And it has fire, snow, and ice made ready for the day of judgment, and the righteous judgment of Elohim. For in it are all spirits of the retributions for vengeance on men. And in the second are the hosts of the armies which are ordained for the day of judgment, to work vengeance on the spirits of deceit and of Belial. And above them are the holy ones. And in the highest of all dwell in the great city, far above all holiness. In the heavens next to it are the archangels, who minister and make propitiation to Adonai for all the sins of ignorance of the righteous, offering to Adonai a sweet-smelling savor, a reasonable and bloodless offering. And in the heavens below this are the angels who bear answers to the angels in the presence of Adonai. And in the heaven next to this are thrones and dominions, in which always they offer praise to Elohim. When therefore Adonai looketh upon us, all of us are shaken. Yea, the heavens and the earth and the abyss are shaken at the presence of his majesty. But the sons of men have no perception of these things sent and provoke the Most High. Now, therefore, know that Adonai shall execute judgment upon the sons of men, because when the rocks are being rent, and the sun quenched, and the waters dried up, and the fire cowering, and all creation troubled, and the invisible spirits melting away, and haze taketh spoils through the visitations of the Most High, men will be unbelieving and perish in their iniquity. On this account with punishment shall they be judged. Therefore the Most High hath heard thy prayer, to separate thee from iniquity, and that thou shouldst become to him a son, and a servant, and a minister of his presence. The light of knowledge shalt thou light up in Jacob, and as the sun shalt thou be to all the seed of Israel. And there shall be given to thee a blessing, and to all thy seed, until Adonai shall visit all the Gentiles in his tender mercies forever. And therefore there have been given to thee counsel and understanding, that thou mightest instruct thy sons concerning this, because they that bless him shall be blessed, and all they that curse him shall perish.
And thereupon the angel opened to me the gates of heaven, and I saw the holy temple, and upon a throne of glory the Most High. And he said to me,
Levi, I have given thee the blessings of the priesthood until I come and sojourn in the midst of Israel.
Then the angel brought me down to the earth, and gave me a shield and a sword, and said to me,
Execute vengeance on Shechem because of thee, my sister, and I will be with thee because Adonai hath sent me, and I will destroy that time the sons of Hamor, as it is written in the heavenly tables.
And I said to him, I pray thee, O Adonai, tell me thy name, that I may call upon thee in the day of my trouble. And he said,
I am the angel who intercedeth for the nation of Israel, that they may not be smitten utterly, for every evil spirit attacketh it.
And after these things I awaked, and blessed the Most High, and the angel who intercedeth for the nation of Israel, and for all the righteous. And when I was going to my father, I found a brazen shield. Wherefore also the name of the mountain is Aspis, which is near Gebel, to the south of Abilah. And I kept these words in my heart. And after this I counseled my father, and Reuben my brother, and bid the sons of Hamor not to be circumcised. For I was zealous, because of the abomination which they had wrought on my sister. And I slew Shechem first, and Simeon slew Hamor. And after this my brother came and smote that city with the edge of the sword. And my father heard these things and was wroth. And he was grieved in that they had received the circumcision, and after that had been put to death. And his blessings he looked amiss upon us. For we sinned because we had done this thing against his will, and he was sick on that day. But I saw that the sentence of Elohim was for evil upon Shechem. For they sought to do to Sarah and Rebekah as they had done to Dinah, our sister. But Adonijah prevented them, and they persecuted Abraham, our father, when he was a stranger, and they vexed his flocks when they were big with young. And Ebelim, who was born in his house, they most shamefully handled, and thus did to all strangers, taking away their wives by force, and they banished them. But the wrath of Adonijah came upon them to the uttermost. And I said to my father Jacob, by thee will Adonijah despoil the Canaanites, and I will give their land to thee, and to thy seed after thee. For from this day forward shall Shechem be called a city of imbeciles. For as a man mocketh a fool, so did we mock them, because also they have wrought folly in Israel, for defiling my sister. And we departed and came to Bethel. And there again I saw a vision as the former, after we had spent there 70 days. And I saw 7 men in white raiment, saying unto me,
Arise, put on thy robe of priesthood, and the crown of righteousness, and the breastplate of understanding, and the garment of truth, and the plate of faith, and the turban of the head, and the ephod of prophecy.
And they severally carried these things and put them on me, and said unto me,
From henceforth become a priest of Adonijah, thou and thy seed forever.
And the first anointed me with holy oil, and gave me the staff of judgment. The second washed me with pure water, and fed me with bread and wine, even the most holy things, and clad me with the holy and glorious robe. The third clothed me with the linen vestment like an ephod. The fourth put round me a girdle like unto purple. The fifth gave me a branch of rich olive. The sixth placed a crown on my head. The seventh placed on my head a diadem of priesthood, and filled my hands with incense, that I might serve as priest to Adonijah Elohim. And they said to me,
Levi, thy seed shall be divided into 3 offices, for a sign of the glory of Adonijah who is to come. And the first portion shall be great, yea, greater than it shall be none. The second shall be in the priesthood, and the third shall be called by a new name, because a king shall arise in Judah, and shall establish a new priesthood, after the fashion of the Gentiles to all the Gentiles. And his presence is beloved as a prophet of the Most High, of the seed of Abraham our father. Therefore, every desirable thing in Israel shall be for thee and for thy seed, and ye shall eat everything fair to look upon. And the table of Adonai shall thy seed apportion. And some of them shall be high priests, and judges, and scribes. For by their mouth shall the holy place be guarded.
And when I awoke, I understood that this dream was like the first. And I hid it also in my heart, and told it not to any man upon the earth. And after 2 days, I and Judah went up with our father Jacob to Isaac, our father's father. And my father's father blessed me according to all the words of the vision which I had seen. And he would not come with us to Bethel. And when we came to Bethel, my father saw a vision concerning me, that I should be the priest unto Elohim. And he rose up early in the morning, and paid tithes of all to Adonai through me. And so we came to Hebron to dwell there. And Isaac called me continually to put me in remembrance of the law of Adonai, even as the angel of Adonai showed unto me. And he taught me the law of the priesthood of sacrifices, whole burnt offerings, first fruits, freewill offerings, peace offerings. And each day he was instructing me, and was busy on my behalf before Adonai, and said to me, Beware of the spirit of fornication, for this shall continue, and shall by thy seed pollute the holy place. Take, therefore, to thyself a wife without blemish or pollution, while yet thou art young, and not of the race of strange nations. And before entering into the holy place, bathe, and when thou offerest the sacrifices, wash. And again, when thou finishest the sacrifice, wash of 12 trees having leaves, offer to Adonai, as Abraham taught me also. And of every clean beast and bird offer a sacrifice to Adonai. And of all thy first fruits and of wine offer the first, as a sacrifice to Elohim. All thy first fruits and of wine offer the first, as a sacrifice to Adonai Elohim. And every sacrifice thou shalt salt with salt. Now, therefore, observe whatsoever I command you, children. For whatsoever thing I have heard from my fathers I have declared unto you. And behold, I am clear from your unholiness and transgression, which ye shall commit in the end of ages against the Savior of the world, Messiah, acting holishly, deceiving Israel, and stirring up against it great evils from Adonai. And ye shall deal lawlessly together with Israel, and he shall not bear with Jerusalem because of your wickedness. But the veil of the temple shall be rent, so as not to cover your shame, and shall be scattered as captives among the Gentiles, and shall be for a reproach and for a curse there. For the house which Adonai shall choose shall be called Jerusalem, as it contained in the book of Enoch the righteous. Therefore, when I took a wife, I was 28 years old, and her name was Milcah. And she conceived and bare a son, and I called his name Gershom, for we were sojourners in our land. And I saw concerning him that he would not be the first rank. And Kohath, who was born in the 35th year of my life, toward sunrise. And I saw in a vision that he was standing on a high in the midst of all the congregation. Therefore I called his name Kohath, which is the beginning, majesty, and instruction. And she bare me a third son in the 40th year of my life. And since his mother bare him with difficulty, I called him Merari, which is my bitterness, because he also was like to die. And Jochebed was born in Egypt in my 64th year, for I was renowned then in the midst of my brethren. And Gershom took a wife, and she bare him Lamni and Shimi, and the sons of Kohath, Abram, Issachar, Hebron, Oziel, and the sons of Merari, Muli and Moses. And in the 94th year, Abram took Jochebed my daughter to him to wife, for they were born in one day, he and my daughter. 8 years old was I when I went into the land of Canaan, and 18 years when I slew Shechem. And at 19 years I became priest, and at 28 years I took a wife, and at 48 I went into Egypt. And behold, my children, ye are a third generation. In my 118th year, Joseph died. And now, my children, I command you, fear Adonai your Elohim with your whole heart, and walk in simplicity according to his law. And do ye also teach your children letters, that they may have understanding all their life, reading unceasingly the law of Elohim. For every one that knoweth the law of Adonai shall be honored, and shall not be a stranger whithersoever he goeth. Yea, many friends shall he gain more than his parents, and many men shall desire to serve him, and to hear the law from his mouth. Work righteousness, therefore, my children, upon the earth, that they may have it as a treasure in heaven, and sow good things in your souls, that ye may find them in your life. But if ye sow evil things, ye shall reap every trouble and affliction. Get wisdom in the fear of Elohim with diligence. For though there be a leading into captivity, and cities and lands be destroyed, and gold and silver and every possession perish, the wisdom of the wise naught can take away, save the blindness from unholiness, and the callousness that comes of sin. For if one keep himself from these evil things, then even among his enemies shall wisdom be a glory to him, and in a strange country a fatherland, and in the midst of foes shall prove a friend. Whosoever teacheth noble things and does them shall be enthroned with kings, as was also Joseph my brother. Therefore, my children, I have learnt that at the end of the ages you will transgress against Adonai, stretching out your hands to wickedness against him. And to all the Gentiles shall you become a scorn, for our father Ichiriala is pure from the transgressions of the chief priests, who shall lay their hands upon the Savior of the world. For as the heaven is purer in Adonai's sight than the earth, so also be ye the lights of Israel, purer than all the Gentiles. But if ye be darkened through transgressions, what therefore will all the Gentiles do, living in blindness? Yea, ye shall bring a curse upon our race, because the light of the law which was given for enlightening every man, this ye desire to destroy by teaching commandments contrary to the ordinance of Elohim. The offerings of Adonai ye shall rob, and from his portion shall ye steal choice portions, eating them contemptuously with harlots. And out of covetousness ye shall teach the commandments of Adonai. Wedding women shall ye pollute, and the virgins of Jerusalem shall ye defile. And with harlots and adulteresses shall ye be joined. And the daughters of the Gentiles shall ye take to wife, purifying them with unlawful purifications. And your union shall be like unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye shall be puffed up because of your priesthood, lifting yourselves up against men, and not only so, but also against the commandments of Elohim, for ye shall contemn the holy things with jest and laughter. Therefore, the temple which Adonai shall choose shall be laid waste through your uncleanness, and ye shall be captive throughout all nations, and ye shall be an abomination unto them, and ye shall receive reproach and everlasting shame from the righteous judgment of Elohim. And all who hate you shall rejoice at your destruction. And if you were not to receive mercy through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our fathers, not one of our seeds should be left upon the earth. And now I have learnt that for 70 weeks ye shall go astray, and profane the priesthood and pollute the sacrifices. And ye shall make void the law, and set at naught the words of the prophets by evil perverseness. And ye shall persecute righteous men, and hate the holy, The words of the faithful shall ye abhor. And a man who renews the law and the power of the Most High, ye shall call a deceiver. And at last ye shall rush upon him and slay him, not knowing his dignity, taking innocent blood through wickedness upon your heads. And your holy place shall be laid waste, even to the ground because of him. And ye shall have no place that is clean, but ye shall be among Gentiles a curse, and a dispersion until he shall again visit you, and in pity shall receive you through faith and water. And whereas ye have heard concerning the 70 weeks, hear also concerning the priesthood. For in each jubilee there shall be a priesthood. And in the first jubilee, the first who is anointed to the priesthood shall be great, and shall speak to Elohim as to a father. And his priesthood shall be perfect with Adoniah. And in the day of his gladness shall he arise for the salvation of the world. In the second jubilee, he that is anointed shall be conceived in the sorrow of beloved ones. And his priesthood shall be honored and shall be glorified by all. And the third priest shall be taken hold of by sorrow. And the fourth shall be in pain, because unrighteousness shall gather itself against him exceedingly, and all Israel shall hate each one his neighbor. And the fifth shall be taken hold of by darkness, likewise also the sixth and the seventh. And in the seventh shall be such pollution as I cannot express before men, for they shall know it who do these things. Therefore shall they be taken captive and become a prey, and their land and their substance shall be destroyed. And in the fifth week they shall return to their desolate country, and shall renew the house of Adoniah. And in the seventh week shall become priests who are idolaters, adulterers, lovers of money, proud, lawless, lascivious, abusers of children and beasts. And after their punishment shall have come from Adoniah, the priesthood shall fail. Then shall Adoniah raise up a new priest, and to him all the words of Adoniah shall be revealed. And he shall execute a righteous judgment upon the earth for a multitude of days. And his star shall arise in heaven as of a king, lighting up the light of knowledge as the sun, the day. And he shall be magnified in the world, and he shall shine forth as the sun on the earth, and shall remove all darkness from under heaven. And there shall be peace in all the earth. The heavens shall exult in his days, and the earth shall be glad, and the clouds shall rejoice. And the knowledge of Adonai shall be poured forth upon the earth as the waters of the seas. And the angels of the glory of the presence of Adonai shall be glad in him. The heavens shall be opened, and from the temple of the glory shall come up his sanctification, with the Father's voice, as from Abraham to Isaac. And the glory of the Most High shall be uttered over him, and the spirit of understanding and sanctification shall rest upon him in the water. For he shall give the majesty of Adonai to his sons in truth forevermore. And there shall none succeed him for all generations forever. And in his priesthood the Gentiles shall be multiplied in knowledge upon the earth, and enlightened through the grace of Adonai. In his priesthood shall sin come to an end, and the lawless shall cease to do evil, and the just shall rest in him. And he shall open the gates of paradise, and shall remove the threatening sword against Adam. And he shall give to the saints to eat from the tree of life, and the spirit of holiness shall be on them. And Beliar shall be bound by him, and he shall give power to his children to tread upon the evil spirits. And Adonai shall rejoice in his children, and be well pleased in his beloved one forever. Then Abraham and Isaac and Jacob exalt, and I will be glad. And all the saints shall clothe themselves with joy. And now, my children, ye have heard all. Choose therefore for yourselves either the light or the darkness, either the law of Adonai or the works of Beliar. And his sons answered him, saying, Before Adonai we walk according to his law. And their father said unto them, Adonai is witness, and his angels are witness, and ye are witnesses, and I am witness concerning the word of your mouth. And his son said unto him, We are witnesses. And thus Levi ceased commanding his sons. And he stretched out his feet on the bed and was gathered to his fathers after he had lived 137 years. And they laid him in a coffin, and afterward they buried him in Hebron with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay. All right. That was actually really good. I like how they dramatize this. I really do. I enjoy it a lot. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. I sure hope you enjoyed it. I did. So many of you, like I said, if you weren't in the chat when I said this, Trump is putting out the call for churches to reopen. And the goal of their churches reopening is to pray for this country to go back to the way it was in pre-coronavirus days. Well, we're going to pray for the opposite. So we want to counteract those prayers. But see, ours are going to be effective because we have the one and only true power. And they're going to find out real fast. Oh, sorry, sissy looking Jesus is not going to do anything for them. He's not real. How can he do anything? So he's putting a call out, so we'll just counteract that call. You know, we don't need any more Edomite rule. We need real true freedom. So I'm sure now that he put that out, a lot of doors across the country at many of the churches will probably be opening, that being said. So just lift up your voices tomorrow and pray. Pray wherever you are. Because that's where our power is. Our power is in the prayer. Yeah, I mean, we can only do our best, you know? It's not like we can do all the things we should be doing, like we're in the kingdom. We're still in this Gentile world, so we can only do what we can. All right, y'all. I have all of you in my prayers. I pray that our Heavenly Father keeps all of you safe and you have shelter and all of your needs met in this time that we are in judgment of the Gentiles. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, Brenda. We're not going to be anything like Lot's wife. We're not going to look back. We're only looking ahead. Looking ahead is our only way out. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the four corners of the Most High's world. Do y'all know a Gentile tried to correct me on that. They said I'm wrong every time I say the four corners of the earth don't have corners. And I was like, if you don't get your retarded high IQ ass out of here, the nerve of these people trying to correct us. And they know nothing about that Bible, but this is what they do. So everybody, love you all. Shalom, family.